What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Addison back with another episode of NBA Chat TV. And today we're here to talk about the NBA Power Rankings for Week 3. Going into Week 3, this Week 3 of the NBA season. And I know football season is still going on. I love football. My team is the Falcons, so y'all know we doing good right now. But I know football season is going on right now, but NBA is slowly but surely working its way, getting into his group. And they've already come out with their power rankings for Week 3, and I kind of just want to give my opinion about it. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know I love to talk, so I'm going to give y'all my opinion. First things first, they got the number one team in the league right now as it stands. It's Oklahoma City Thunder, led by Russell Westbrook, who's playing phenomenal right now. I really don't know how long he's going to keep it up, but hey, this is what we all wanted to see when Kevin Durant departed from OKC to Golden State. This is what we wanted to see. We want to see the one-man band in Russell Westbrook and the supporting cast, right? That's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see him be the lead singer and what his backups is going to do. So they're playing good ball right now. I mean, though they got blown out by the Warriors last Thursday night, which was supposed to happen. That was a very, very entertaining basketball game if you didn't watch it. But they're playing great ball. They're 6-1. They didn't beat the Clippers. They've beaten they've also played the Sixers and the Lakers. So they've beaten some scrubs, but they beat the Clippers right now, who actually is playing, who's playing good right now, but we'll get into them a little bit later. Running in a second is the Cleveland Cavaliers, head of the snake, LeBron James. I mean, the man is just a walking triple-double every night, just doing his thing. Then his sidekick, Kyrie Irving, Batman and Robin, got that whole thing going on. And then you got Kevin Love, who's finally found his role, found his niche, and actually is showing some quality play. Like, he's showing some quality play. I like Kevin Love. I kind of was hard on Kevin Love because I wanted Kevin Love to be what Kevin Love was in Minnesota. Kevin Love lost a lot of weight. He got his body together. And Kevin Love is a finesse player. He still likes to bang down low. He still likes to get on the boards. But he's just a finesse player, and that's okay. Everybody's not a banger. Everybody's not a bruiser, a brawler, a scrapper. He's not. But he's slowly but surely getting that scrappiness to him. And this supporting cast is playing lights out right now. J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye. The addition, Mike Dunleavy. I mean, these guys are playing unbelievable. Tristan Thompson always is a load on the board. So, I mean, this team is just, again, they'll be there when it counts in the finals in June. And, I mean, it's just check ball from there. Reigning in at third is the LA Clippers. The Clippers are playing good ball right now, too. They're 6-1. They've only lost one game this season. And that was to the Oklahoma City Thunder, which I think they lost by 2 or 3 points. So, in retrospect, they were right there. Like I said, the Clippers are fine. I think the Clippers finally have figured it out, a way to somehow work in Blake Griffin and work in Chris Paul, somehow them work in unison, but also get DeAndre Jordan going. But not only that, get your other guys going, J.J. Redick, the Austin Rivers. And then they added Mo Spates, which is a huge addition off that bench. Of course, they have Jamal Crawford come off that bench. They also got a veteran point guard in Raymond Felton. I think in years past, they didn't necessarily have that point guard or the second decision maker. And you wanted it to be Jamal Crawford, but I just think Jamal Crawford, it has a shoot-first mentality. So I just don't think he has that playmaker mentality. But now you have a point guard in Raymond Felton. I don't think Austin Rivers is that point guard that you want him to be yet. I think give him 2 or 3 years, and I think he could develop into that. But I just don't think he's that yet. But like I said, I really like this Clippers team. They're going to come down to the stretch. They're going to come down to the wire, and they're going to be a tough team to get out. Next is Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte surprisingly is playing great, man. I mean, Charlotte's always been a sneaky team that I always felt like could do some things, but just never had just the talent. And Charlotte's really not a talented team, but I think they have a recipe, and I think they kind of figured it out. I really like Frank Kaminsky. I really love Kemba Walker as a point guard. I think, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is finally healthy now, so you're finally getting to see what he can do. They have a lot of guys that they just use, and they get a lot out of. They re-signed Nicholas Batum, Marvin Williams, another guy. So they have a lot of different pieces that are versatile, which they can do different roles. They can play different positions on the floor. And like I said, this team is going to be tough out west because they play good defense. Steve Clifford coaches them boys up, and they also play good defense. Reigning at fifth is the San Antonio Spurs. Of course, the Spurs are always going to be the Spurs are that well-oiled machine. They're always going to keep going no matter what. You know, Tony Parker, Ginobili, Kawhi Leonard is playing out of his mind right now. Of course, they added Pau Gasol, so of course he gives you that inside presence that you need. But also you got LaMarcus Aldridge as well. This team is always going to be a tough out. Like I said, I just think when it comes down to it, like I said, they're going to play great into the regular season, but it's going to come down to when it counts in the playoffs, and I just don't think they just have enough. They never have enough. I think that age really catches you. It just does. At 6 is the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks are 5-2. The Atlanta Hawks look really, really good. I think they finally have some cohesion, I believe, that could ultimately help them win. They finally have a big man who just is going to stand down there and get rebounds, and Dwight Howard. I think they wanted that to be Al Horford, but I don't think that's who Al Horford was. And in that San Antonio-like system, you need that presence in the middle. And, you play 4 out, 1 in, right? So that's almost like what San Antonio did with Tim Duncan. They played 4 out on the perimeter, and then they had 1 in. And so I believe that now with the Hawks, they can do that. They have 4 guys: Schroeder, Kyle Korver, Kent Bazemore, Paul Millsap. So these guys can play on the perimeter. You just tell Dwight Howard just to get rebounds. So I believe that they finally have a recipe that works. I want to see as the season starts to progress how this is going to work out. But so far, the Hawks are looking really good. Running in at 7th is the Golden State Warriors, of course. As I said, we know this team is a work in progress. The addition of Kevin Durant is going to be tough in the beginning. It's going to be strenuous, trying to figure out who goes where, how does what part fit with what. But trust you me when I tell you, once the team figures it out, they're going to roll through everybody. They're going to roll through everybody. They're just a matter right now just trying to figure it out. And that's just with anything. In the beginning of any process, the beginning of any new relationship, whatever it is, it's just working the kinks out, getting to know one another, how they're going to play on defensive. Like I said, I don't think they're going to be great defensively. I think they're going to struggle defensively all year long until they get some size in there. But like offensively, this team is just one of the most offensively talented teams I think I've ever seen in my life. Reigning in at 8th is the Toronto Raptors. Toronto Raptors, another solid team. Headed the Snake, DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Korver. I don't know why I keep thinking of Kyle Korver. Kyle Lowry, I'm sorry. But DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, those guys are going to be real problems, of course. But that backcourt, they go. So as they go, their team goes. So, guys like Valanciunas, DeMar Carroll, all those guys really get going once DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry get going. Without those 2 guys, the other guys struggle. So guys like Patrick Patterson come off that bench, or Corey Joseph come off that bench, and now you have Jared Sullinger. And I like what the Raptors did coming into this season was they decided to beef up their middle. They decided to go out and get somebody in the draft. They decided to go out to get Sullinger. They lost Bismack Biyombo, but they kept Jonas Valanciunas. But then I think they also had somebody else come off the bench as well. So they're using a lot of those bigs because that's what hurt them in the playoffs last year against Cleveland was getting beat on the interior. I think outside of that, they really matched up okay on everywhere else, but I just think in that interior, on that inside, is where Cleveland killed them. So those are the top 8 teams right now as it stands in the league. And then, of course, everybody else falls in line: Utah, Detroit, Chicago, LA, Houston, Milwaukee, Portland, Boston, New York. I'm sorry, not New York, Denver, Brooklyn, Orlando, Memphis, Indiana, Sacramento. And then you have a whole bunch of bottom. And like I said, it is early in the season. So teams, a lot of new players in different places. So a lot of teams are trying to figure it out, trying to put guys together. And I really don't put too much stock into the first month of the season because we've seen it time and time again. Teams peak, and I think we don't want it to be a case where OKC's peaking right now, and then they don't win for the next 2-3 months. So, like I said, teams are just trying to figure out how guys play with one another, and that's why I really don't get too over excited, or I don't get too over the top with preseason rankings and power rankings, especially in the NBA, because they just change daily, right? So they just change. I mean, Cleveland can win tomorrow, OKC can win today, and it just changes. So I really don't get caught up in it. But like I said, I like a lot of teams. I'll give you a couple teams to look out for who as the months start to progress, they will get better. Chicago is a team. Houston team. The Lakers is another team. Boston is another team as well. Look out for Denver. Denver has the pieces in place. They're just a young team, just trying to. They don't really have that cohesion yet, but I feel like once they figure out that cohesion, they'll be okay. And also New York. New York is a sleeper team right now. Like I said, New York struggling right now. And like I said, until they ditch that triangle offense, New York will forever just stay stagnant. So those are a couple of teams to look out for. Teams that I know that are going to stay the same: Dallas, Washington, New Orleans, Philly. Those teams are going to stay the same. Minnesota is a team right now that's 1-5, but they're really just trying to find themselves, really just trying to figure everything out right now. Like I said, they have a young team, a young coach. So they're just trying to figure everything out. But like I said, I feel like once they kind of figure it out, I think Minnesota could be that team that could sneak their way into maybe an 8th seed, maybe a 7th seed out in the West. But like I said, it's really going to be tough because the West really is a juggernaut. And a lot of those teams really just are tough to just leapfrog. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Get in that comment section down below. I want to hear y'all opinions. I want to hear, what you guys are thinking. I can't be the only one talking. So until next video, until next time, it's your boy Addison. Oh, and by the way, follow us on Twitter at NBA Chats TV. We do have a Twitter account set up. So y'all tweet us, tweet me questions, anything y'all feel like I want to talk about, whatever. I'm open and I'm willing to talk about it, even if it's not basketball, even if it's just something personal, or maybe it's another sport, whether or not it's NFL, whatever the case may be, I'm open to talk about it. So until next video, until next time, it's your boy Addison. Peace.